Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Typhoons TV. Me, the Fantasy Typhoon, a.k.a. the Mentalist, a.k.a. your favorite analyst. What's up? Rock with me. Come in, have a seat. Have a seat. Give me a couple of minutes of your attention. Millennials, bear with me now. Bear with me, millennials, Generation X, Generation Z and all this and that. Come in and rock with me for a little bit and try to hang on with me. I don't have a lot of bells and whistles going on and a lot of antics. You might seem boring a little bit to you, but come on in and sit down, man, and hopefully I can put some nuggets in your brain. Help make you a better fantasy player. That's all we're here to do. We're here to help you take tools and concepts, apply them to your fantasy football teams to help you get better, and not only that, to help you be able to walk away and say, thanks, Typhoon, I can do it. You gave me enough structure, I can do it. Then you go on. That's what we're here to do. We're not here to have you come and, looking and totally dependent on me to make you win. I'm giving you the tools to get you independent from me to where you can win on your own and dominate on your own. I have a new theme for the podcast now. This is what I'll be saying every show now. Remember, talent is God-given, so be humble. Fame is man-given, so be thankful. And conceit is self-given. It's self-given. So be careful. That's my words of wisdom to you. Maybe I'll try to do something new each and every Typhoons TV, give you some words of wisdom. Talent is God-given, so be humble. Fame is man-given, so be thankful. Conceit is self-given, so be careful. All right, man, this AB stuff. He's done with the Patriots. Oh, Google. In your search engine, type the T-H-E, fantasy, F-A-N-T-A-S-Y, Typhoon, T-Y-P-H-O-O-N. Hey, that's me. Subscribe to the channel. Show me some support. Subscribe to the channel or comment. Good and bad. I'm a big boy. That stuff don't bother me because 9 times out of 10, if you're giving me bad reviews or bad replies in a hateful way, that's a reflection on you, not me. You the one look like an idiot, not me. So, you bring it on. That's what you choose to do. But, this AB story is just taking twists and turns. It's just out of control. Right when he left Pittsburgh, I traded AB in my Dynasty League for a 1, Jordan Reed. 1 Jordan Reed and Amari Cooper. Let me just show you how fantasy comes full circle. In the same league, I just bought Antonio Brown back for Jordan Reed and 2/3. Now I'm trying to move him again. I want a tight end. I need a tight end, so I've been trying to sell Jordan Reed and couldn't do nothing with him. Because, as you know, he's finished. Jordan Reed's done. Yeah, it was a good career. Jordan Reed, man, appreciate you. It was good. Don't play no more, bro. Because, after listening to Calvin Johnson's, fully, sit back and just spur out all the happenings behind the scenes. I keep telling y'all, man, it's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that if the NFL told you self-righteous folks half the stuff that happens in the NFL behind the scenes, you would never watch football ever again. Just think if you so self-righteous to the point where you can't even add AB to your roster because he was accused of rape. He's not even convicted of rape. I'm talking about he's not convicted of rape. He's just been accused. You know, like your next door neighbor can accuse you of knocking over the trash can. You know, folks are accused of a lot. You know, you could be driving down the street, somebody accused you of cutting them off. You could be accused of many things. You know, just like Tyreek Hill, you know, folks got so self-righteous on Tyreek Hill. Oh, he'll never be on my team. But he was accused. Was never any kind of DA with real police experience placed a charge on him. Same with AB. No charges are filed. Now, see, there you go. I'm not belittling rape at all. But what I'm saying is there's other ways to express your anger or your disagreement than not letting Antonio Brown or Tyreek Hill play on your fantasy team. Basically, you look like a fool. And here's why. Because at the end of the day, don't nobody care about your fantasy team. Nobody. Let me just tell you, sorry, somebody got to tell you that. And at the end of the day, the game is not real. Fantasy is not real. And let me say this with me. Fantasy football is not real. So whether you refuse to roster or turn your, I will never roster Tyreek Hill. He's beneath me. Or I'll never roster Antonio Brown. He's beneath me. Just think, you've really done nothing to actually help rape victims or help kids that's been abused by doing that action. You've done nothing but medicate yourself. So you are the one now looking even crazier than you did before you even said that player X, Y, or Z can't play for my team. Because if they pull back the Band-Aid on the NFL, none of these guys will be fit for your team. Because they're warriors, man. These guys living on a whole different level, man. There's a lot of stuff going on in the NFL that you guys y'all just can't handle it, man. NFL keeps that stuff away from y'all. I've hung out with real NFL players that play now and that have played before. Man, I've been in locker rooms. Y'all can't handle it. If you can't handle somebody being accused, you can't even handle stuff I've seen. But anyway, so, you know, whether you want to do Antonio Brown, remember at the end of the day, it's a free country. I'm a veteran from the military. I fought for your right to say I don't want to roster Antonio Brown. Hey, you cool with me. I'm not mad at nobody. I'm just telling you, it doesn't look too good. You're only pleasing yourself, and you know you're making yourself feel better. You're not helping rape victims. You're not adding to the awareness of that. Saying that I refuse to roster Antonio Brown now that he's been accused of rape. I hope he didn't do it for the sake of everything involved, not just because of football, but for the sake of nobody wants to see a rape victim. You see what I'm trying to say? I own Antonio Brown in a minute. It's a fake game. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to give him back $9 million, or there's not $9 million involved with me. You know, there's rape victims there's rape accusers on your job. You kind of work with, or in your circle somewhere. You just don't know it, in the family tree or somewhere. You know, so tone it down a little. That's just me. Give him some advice, kind of tone it down a little. Then, hey, you know, if you refuse to have him on your team and refuse to have him on your team, then go down to the rape shelter and kind of help out. You know, then, you know, if you want to help kids with child abuse or whatever, then go do something. Is what I'm saying. Don't make yourself feel better. Actually help the cause. But didn't really want to go there with that one, but we went there. Now, just sitting back talking with HumbleBeast. What's up, HumbleBeast? And I admire this guy's fantasy football play. HumbleBeast, my dog. Man, I admire your play. your fantasy play. And here's why we just sitting back talking. Just a couple of minutes ago, a couple of hours ago, we sit back. We got a special little group on Twitter. We DM and we just sit back and just chat. HumbleBeast is starting Devin Smith in his flex. I'm like, man, that takes some kahunas to do that. I could do it. I'm not there, man. He's like, man, I see it. I'm going on it. He gives me a 0. I don't care. He's more that type of, I see something here. I'm aware of something. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the defense. He's like, I'm starting Devin Smith this week against, Devin Smith resurrected his career with the Cowboys, came from the New York Jets, got hurt, kept getting hurt, was cut, kind of bounced around a little bit, now ended up in Dallas, caught that beautiful long bomb from Dak Prescott last week against the Redskins, against Josh Norman, turned them all around. So he was a second-round pick, so he's Grissom. He was a second-round pick, so he's going to play against that depleted. They just traded Micah Fitzpatrick. I mean, okay, I see your logic, but man, I see your logic, but me, see, I take this a little too serious as far as setting rosters. I go a little bit too far. I want to look at the wind. What's the wind? Is it coming from east, west? What's happening there? And I want to know, is it a dome, or are we outside on grass or artificial turf? What are we doing? How many blades of grass? Is it a lot of blades of grass to on the 20s, or is it more blades of grass over here to the right on the 30s and 40s? I want to know, is it a one, or is it a 4 kickoff, meaning time? Are we playing at 1, and is it a West Coast team coming over for the 1 game, or is it a East Coast team going to the West for a 1 game, or vice versa for a 4 o'clock game? I want to know that. I want to know, is the sun coming in from the northeast, or is it coming in from the southeast, or where's the sun's factor? Will it be facing when they switch sides? After halftime, is the sun, will the sun be in the opposing QB's eyes, or in the home team's QB eyes? What's the defense? Is it a 3-4? Is it a 4-3? Do they play single high safety? Do they play man? Do they play zone? Do they play robber? They play zone left side, or a man right side? Or are they a heavy blitz team? Who are the DBs? What college did the DBs go to? Did the DBs stay the whole 4 years, or did they kind of come out early? Did they go to a reputable school? What's the measurements? What was his 40 time? That's what kind of 40 times kind of come into play for your DBs, for your corners. You see what I'm trying to say? I'm way overthinking. What's their mother's maiden name? You know what I'm saying? What's their DNA? How many cells, red blood cells, do they have? I want to know all of it before I make a decision. So, and I end up screwing it up, because 9 times out of 10, your roster decisions, your roster manipulation, that's pretty much a gut thing that you got to do. I strongly recommend you win or lose on your gut. You've been doing this. You've been acclimating yourself to the game. We're just hitting week 3, but you have a sense now. Next week you'll have a real sense of what you really have. Every year you kind of shake up the NFL, all the pieces. Like a puzzle. You finished the puzzle last year, 2018. Your puzzle was finished, right? But you had to break it all up, put the whole puzzle back in the box for 2019, dump it on the table. Right now you're just putting your corners. Okay, you got, usually how you do it. You do the corners, and then you start filling in. So now you're doing your fill-in. By week 4, after this week and then next week, you should have a sense. Okay, Marquise Brown. All right, that's a starter for me now. All right, I missed week 1 on the bench. That huge explosion. You know what I'm saying? I kind of missed that. It kind of came in game 2. He didn't disappoint, but okay. Now you're starting to get an idea that they're settling. They're settling down to where you can get true values. To now you can go, all right, put da 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 on the block, move them, get draft. Okay, this is what I recommend. All right, after next week, after week 4, all right, you should have an idea of, all right, do I need to hold Dante Pettis anymore? All right, Jordan Reed, he hasn't played in 4 weeks. Let me get a 4th. Let's get him out. Let's boom. Dante Pettis had done nothing. Give me a 3rd, whatever. Royce Freeman. All right, looks like he's about to take over the backfield. I really see a long term. Can I take a draft pick now and kind of just, all right, I'm done there. Even if he does, the run game is looking horrid in Denver thus far, even though he's looking better than Philip Lindsay. And I got to say it, I was wrong. I thought Philip Lindsay looked a little better. His speed was a little better, but Royce Freeman is doing the worst. Philip Lindsay owners, Royce Freeman is doing the worst thing you could ever have done to a player. And that is a new coaching staff come in, gives Philip Lindsay the job, and then Royce Freeman takes it. Philip Lindsay will never get that job back under Vic Fangio's tenure. So, because he's proved he's better. When a player proves he's better, it's not just, okay, this is what we want on paper, then you go into the season with your plan, and then a player outproduces. That might push Philip Lindsay way back. You see what I'm saying? Because he took it. He strong-armed it. Man for man, pound for pound, came in and took the job. So let's keep watching that. Put it if you okay, he takes the job. Do you see him as an every down back? Do you see this situation getting better going forward for Freeman? I'm talking about the next 2. I use 2-year. A lot of folks say use 3-year windows. I use 2-year windows. So look at the next 2 years and kind of say to yourself, this is you. Don't ask nobody on Twitter. This is you making your own decision up. You got to make your decision. Don't go to social media. This is your roster. You have to take some responsibility and put in some man hours on your team. You do it. That's how you get better. Don't go asking everybody what their opinion is. Okay, you can ask for opinions, but at the end of the day, make your decision on it. I have Royce Freeman up. If I hope he does take the job. I'll sell him. Because evidently, they like Philip Lindsay. Royce took the job. So Royce taking the job, another back. And another thing, while I'm doing this week 4 this year, I'm cleaning house. I just want draft picks. It's because next year's draft, man. Now, I know a lot of folks said this year's draft was no good. This year's draft was, every year's draft is good. So don't let nobody tell you this draft is no good. No, there's no such thing. Now, this year's draft might have more guys, more wide receivers that will go in the first. And I think it was like 2, maybe 3 guys in the first round this year. DK Metcalf, Marquise Brown. I think we're like the only 2 wide receivers that went in the first round. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm just going off the top of my dome right now. Now, next year it's about 5 guys who going in the first round. So that's just showing you that it's better talent in the first round. Now, are they all graded? First round grades? No, because at the end of the day, at most about 17 players. I'm talking about defensive end, centers, guards, all that. Tight ends, everything. It's about 17 players who gets a first round grade. So if when you're picking 18, even though although you're picking in the first round, your player is not does has a second round grade. But being that the talent pool doesn't produce a, a lot, 32 first round players, you gotta pick another player that you have a second round grade for in the first round. That's just how it is. It's not enough. But this year coming up, kind of trim that fat, kind of trim it early, because just in case, let's say you do put something together, you cut and paste something, you picked up Raheem Mostert and Minshew, you put some things together and they're outperforming what you really thought they were going to do, and you end up making the playoffs. You should always try to make the playoffs in any dynasty team. That should never be. You should never sit there and just tank. I'm sorry. You can do what you want to do. I'm just making a recommendation. Me myself, just my DNA, just who I am as a man. It's just my competitiveness. I just can't tank. I just can't do it. I just can't sit there and let me get worse. I just I don't know how you do it. I mean, you can do it. Me myself, as a fantasy player, I just cannot get worse by trying to get. Now I might get worse by making some mistakes, but I just can't sit there and just all right. Let me trade to get worse, or let me do this to get worse. I can't do it. But anyway, So what I'm saying is this next pool coming in might have 5 first round wide receivers as opposed to 2 in 2019. So start gearing yourself up. Let's say if you get to week 4, you see a lot of players on your team that just won't. I'm talking about dominate. Keep those dominators. Keep those folks that are going to do the thing. Keep those, and then kind of trim the fat. Those folks, that's not happening. Let them go. Trade them into draft capital. Trade them into cash. Liquidate them is what I call it. Liquidate those players, and then just play. Kind of use the waiver wire and compete to your best ability. But always keep your starting roster. Find out who your starters are. Keep those. Don't worry about the bench. Just keep a starting roster. You can fill the bench in through waivers, but fill the starting roster. And when they don't buy, then that's when you waiver wire it out. You outsource it. But get your starting quarterback. Who is that? If you got a backup quarterback, you want to move it. All right, go ahead and move it. Get your bona fide starter in place for this year. Get your bona fide RB1. Get your bona fide RB2. Get your bona fide wide receiver 1, 2, 3, or however, and your tight end, however that goes. But get that starting lineup solidified. Everything around it, start cutting fat. Cut it. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Start picking up those picks. Load those picks up, and then go shopping. And I'll help you next. I have a good, like I told you, I have real NFL draft scouts, and I can help you navigate through your draft and miss those landmines. Help you pick up instead of Darrell Henderson. Go ahead and pick up Devin Singletary. You can get laughed at first, but as we get closer to the season, that laughter turns into your favor. And just wanted to give a shout out to HumbleBeast, man, on setting your roster, dude. That's outstanding. You got kahunas. I respect that. I like playing against folks that are, that don't mind. Look, I'm going for full upside on you. I respect that. Looking at Titans offense, man, like your A.J. Browns. Look, that's where wide receivers go to die, bro. Folks, ladies, gentlemen, kids, I just cannot find. I don't care if Judy goes there. If he goes to the Titans, I'm not touching him unless they get another quarterback and get another. They just got to hit the reset button there, and they got to give me a McVay type mind. You can't give me somebody that's going to play 19 Jeff Fisher football. Mike Malarkey, Jeff Fisher football. Ken Wisenhunt, Jeff Fisher football. Mike Vrabel, it's Jeff Fisher football. Give me 17 points, play defense. Let's go home with a win. Let's run Derrick Henry to death. I would not touch a wide receiver out of that system until it blows up. I'm sorry, I just can't touch a wide receiver out of Tennessee. And as you well know, they just played the Jacksonville Jaguars this Thursday and got the brakes beat off of them. And even down 14 points, you still didn't see a hurry up style. You still didn't see any adaptation to the clock. When it's 3 minutes left in the third quarter and you're down 14 points, you got to speed it up. You got to change this thing. They didn't. They stuck to who they are. They have their structure of who they are, what they're going to do, and they don't deviate. And I cannot have a wide receiver in that. I'm sorry. Corey Davis, I know everybody's like, I missed on Corey Davis. No, you didn't. He just went to the wrong offense. Put Corey Davis in the New England Patriots, or put him over there with Sean McVay, put him over there with Andy Reid, put him with Doug Peterson, put him with Sean Payton, even bring him to the Cowboys. You got a totally different asset now. It's just Tennessee. So, would I kind of buy low on Corey Davis right now? Matter of fact, I just got Antonio Brown. I'm going to do Antonio Brown for Corey Davis straight up. See if I can't go ahead and steal Corey Davis right quick. You know they're tired of him. I mean, when have you ever started him? When have you ever? When has that owner? He's been owning him the last 4 years. When have they ever placed him into the starting lineup, whether it's the flex or the wide receiver 4 or whatever, and went away comfortable? Like, okay, Corey Davis has that spot locked. And just walk away and be like, all right, I feel good. 1 o'clock come on, you turn the TV on, and that little dun 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 dun, welcome to the NFL. Because once you see that little welcome to the NFL, once you see that little NFL comes through, your roster's a lot. Have you noticed that? Once you see that little NFL logo swinging around on your TV screen, your roster's locked then. That's when your roster's locked. So you can do I've been doing this a long time. When you set your roster, you're down at the last minute. You can switch, you can mix and match until that NFL logo comes through. Boom. They might go to another commercial, but your roster's locked. It's like that's the universal language for all rosters on all formats. I don't care if you're playing on Yahoo, Sleeper, My Fantasy Leagues, ESPN, NFL.com, wherever you're playing. Once that NFL logo swings, rosters are locked. But that's a wasteland there in Tennessee. Now Gardner Minshew, we already told you to go ahead and blow the wad on him. I don't know. It's just something. I'd rather have him than Mariota. Did I stutter? For the simple fact, man, in the NFL, I keep telling you, the number one trade is not arm strength. Who cares about that? Not really your footwork. Not really if you're under center or you shotgun. The number one, you gotta see this thing, man. You gotta have a mind to process that information quickly. And it's got to tell you who to go to quickly. You've got to figure out what's not, like Greg Cosell says, figure out what's not there. As opposed to what's there, you just got to figure out what's not there. Mariota comes back, holds the ball. When you see your quarterback doing this, he's not processing. He don't get it. And then all of a sudden now he's doing this for his life and takes a sack and he next time hype. He don't get it. Cut him. I would drop him, trade him, get off my go. There's nothing worse than holding on to a quarterback like this. Hype. Jaguars ate him up, 9 sacks? It was just hilarious, man. This guy's been in the league this long, and you guys still think this dude is a top-notch quarterback. It's just funny to me. I was out on him after year 1. This right here, I'm gonna tell you who does it too. Deshaun Watson. He'll get back there and he'll get ate up. I'm gonna tell you somebody else who do it. Aaron Rodgers. But he's getting a little better at it now. That guy's seen it on tape. He said, "I'm changing you, bro." His new head coach like, "Nah, we not going out like that." So he kind of came in and kind of changed his thing. Now, finally, I'll do this since we're on quarterbacks. What are we going to do? It's a shift. We are in the midst of a quarterback shift. No Big Ben, no Sean Payton, no Cam Newton, no Sam Darnold. Flacco's done. No Mariota. Mariota's done. Jameis Winston's done. I mean, it's just Andrew Luck's gone. I mean, right now, Deshaun Watson, Mahomes, I can't even put Baker in there. Deshaun Watson, Mahomes, Carson Wentz. I got to throw Dak in it, man. Dak looks good. Those are your dogs. Those are your dogs going forward as of today. It could change tomorrow. After week 3, it could change. Like I said, I can't really bang the gavel until week 4 coming out with some concrete. But you know, we are in the midst of Eli gone. We are in the midst of a quarterback shift. Get you one of those top guys and be done with your quarterback search. And you gain that advantage. It's an advantage at QB now. Take advantage of it. You know, you're going to be stuck with a Matthew Stafford or he's a middling QB all his life. You're going to be stuck with Case Keenum. What's your boy name over there in Minnesota? Kirk Cousins. You know, Andy Dalton even raising the level a little bit. Oh, Lamar Jackson is. I got to put him top tier right now. He's playing it. Through 2 weeks, he's top tier. Got to give it to him. I can't take it away from him because I don't like him. That's not analyst. Even though I'm a Cowboys fan, I got to put all my. That's why I said Carson Wentz. I can't stand the Eagles, but I can't let that. I can't let that get in the way of my football eye. My football eye has got to be no bias. But anyway, guys, just want to step in and out right quick. Just give you a shout. Say what's up. Once again, Google. Put in your search engine, The Fantasy Typhoon. Hit enter. That's my whole page. Subscribe. Comment. Whether you're watching on iTunes, whether you're watching on Podcast Garden or listening on iTunes or listening on Podcast Garden. Hey, rock with me at Typhoons TV. You can follow me that way. Interact with me. You have questions for the mailbag, the fantasy typhoon at hotmail.com. I would rather, or you can DM me on Twitter, the fantasy typhoon. I really don't like questions being asked directly on Twitter. Rather you DM me or the fantasy typhoon at hotmail.com if you have pressing questions. We'll be back next week, hopefully, Lord willing. We'll do a mailbag and kind of go over Thursday night's games. Oh no, before Thursday night, kind of let you know what happened this week because, like I said, we're getting close to the point where it's time to be in or out. You're either in on that player or you're out. Make a decision, and don't be afraid to. There's no more. Well, you either in on them or you're out, and go ahead and get them off your roster. It's called trimming the fat. It's the reason why I say you to do this exercise this year, like I was saying early in the episode, is for the simple fact that, man, it's a large class coming in next time, so a lot of folks gonna take jobs. A lot of folks gonna take jobs. A lot of job loss. It's gonna be a lot of unemployed. Well, not unemployed. It's gonna a lot of folks that's a rookie is gonna come in. Rookie's gonna come in and yank jobs next year. So if you're on the fence, it's rather go ahead and get out now. Like Bill Belichick, rather get out a year early than a year late. Once again, the Google being the fastest typhoon, hit enter. You know my motto here: don't just win, dominate. We gone.